At the hospital that EJ now owns, Philip is wide awake and talking, but he does not want to talk about Xander. He is insisting that Xander was not the person to do this to him, but nobody believes him, especially not Belle. When Belle visits Philip to get the truth out of him, Philip sticks to his story. Belle asks Philip why he is lying, but Philip remains mum. He is not about to implicate Xander. Is he trying to cover for his brother because he feels bad about everything that happened with the forged letter and the Versavix heist gone wrong? Or does Philip genuinely believe it wasn't Xander? Could his memory be foggy, or did someone else walk into his Salem Inn room after Xander left? Xander has also denied beating Philip, but we saw him start a beating. Did another person finish it, or is Philip truly trying to make amends with this big lie? Maybe Sarah can get to the bottom of things when she once again fights with her husband. Welcome to the Days of Our Lives Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. While Days of Our Lives was absolutely incredible on June 18th, as Bo and Hope took wedding vows again, we do find a few things about this little miracle that Bo was just handed to be a bit off. First, where was Bo's long-term facility? We originally believed it was in Greece, but Hope managed to get to Salem and back again during a commercial break. Even last week, Bo insisted to Hope he had to be there for John's funeral and made it there before the episode ended. Hope was worried about Bo's recovery and insisted on being there to hold him up, but by the next day, she left him alone in Horton Square so she could visit with her cousins and he could drink at his family pub. Was that a good idea for a man who had just been in a coma for 2 years? And how is this formerly frozen and comatose patient even standing, walking around, and enjoying time in bed with Hope? One would think a cryogenic chamber for 8 years and a coma for 2 years would have hindered these activities for a while. This is as miraculous as Lulu's quick recovery after 4 years in a coma on General Hospital. At least Hope noted that Bo didn't even have any money or credit cards when he told her to look in the closet because he had gotten her a surprise. That inserted some realism into this otherwise fantastical, but deliciously romantic, story. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full DOOL recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. While Days of Our Lives fans love it when Sammy Brady returns, they can still find her busy portrayer, Allison Sweeney, in other projects. She's been a staple of Hallmark's popular TV movies, appearing in over 30 of them. Perhaps her most popular film series there is the Hannah Swenson Mysteries, and her latest movie has just been announced. Soaps shared a video clip on its official Instagram page and captioned it, "Will Hannah and Chad finally go on that dinner date?" Watch an exclusive sneak peek of the latest #Hannah Swenson movie, Pie to Die For, premiering June 22nd on @Hallmark Channel. Follow link in bio for more. The plot for her film, Pie to Die For, is when Hannah's customer and Dolores' theater rival is murdered, Hannah must find her killer in order to save her mother's reputation. Chad and Hannah's romance blossoms. The continuing nature of these films, along with character development, is a great hook that draws viewers back each time for more. In the video, Chad, played by Days of Our Lives alum Victor Webster, calls Hannah to check on her. At first, she thinks he wants her to stay away from the case because it's dangerous, but by the end of the conversation, she's pleased that he was genuinely interested in how she was doing. Fans of this series will no doubt be eagerly looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Barbara Niven returns as Hannah's mother, Dolores. In the video, Hannah tells Chad, "You know, just thinking about how if I'd left the bakery 5 minutes earlier, I might have been there in time to save her." She's referring to Dolores' rival, who was murdered, and Chad responds, Yeah, but you also might have put yourself in danger if you did that. Paul Lazenby, who's a stuntman and has worked on many films, including Deadpool 2 and The Predator, among numerous others, appears as a character known only as Intruder. Actress and producer Yan K. Crystal Lowe serves as the movie's director. While she's appeared in nearly 100 films, she's directed a handful, including Shifting Gears and Afterglow. Sweeney had previously told Soaps in October 2024, when she was promoting A Sprinkle of Deceit, a Hannah Swenson mystery, that she appreciates the fact that the stories are taking their time pairing Chad and Hannah. Every time he's trying to solve a case, she keeps intervening, and the cop has to tell her to cut it out, clearly worried for her safety. She explained, "He keeps telling her, 'You can't be here,' and she's like, 'Yeah, okay, well, I'll see you at the next crime scene.'" Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday, June 20th reveal that Sophia Choi, Tate Black, Holly Jonas, and Aaron Green will don their graduation attire as they prepare to officially leave high school behind. However, this event won't go according to plan since Sophia's about to go into labor. Days spoilers say Sophia will freak out over the baby's imminent arrival, but Tate will try to settle her down as they head to the hospital. Amy Choi will be part of the baby drama too, but she may add to Sophia's anxiety since that's what she normally does. Meanwhile, Brady Black will have a tense conversation with E.J. DiMera now that they both know Rachel Black saw armed Johnny DiMera the night of the shooting. The trauma of everything Rachel's been through will continue to take a toll since she'll need another trip to the hospital on Friday's DOOL episode. It sounds like Rachel will complain about another stomachache, so Brady will take her for medical care to be on the safe side. Rachel will get checked out by Sarah Horton, who'll also give Marlena Evans a checkup since she's been dealing with some dizzy spells. Sarah may determine that Marlena is just exhausted by grief and prescribe more rest as a result. However, an encounter with Rachel will be just what the doctor ordered for Grandma Marlena. Since Brady will want to stick around the hospital for Tate after Sophia is brought in, Marlena will take Rachel back to the townhouse with her. Days spoilers say Rachel and Marlena will bond as they do a puzzle together. There'll be some sweet family moments, but Marlena will grow alarmed after Rachel falls asleep on the sofa and has a nightmare. Rachel will mutter in her sleep about the shooter, so Marlena will know the poor girl's being haunted by difficult memories. Back with EJ, he'll face Chanel Dupree DiMera's angry warning. Since Johnny is considering letting EJ back in his life, Chanel may warn EJ to be on his best behavior if that happens. Chanel will also have drinks with Paulina Price and Abe Carver in honor of Juneteenth, as well as their anniversary. It won't be a very celebratory evening for Chanel since she's worried about Johnny and has been told to delay getting pregnant even further. While Chanel updates Abe and Paulina on her troubles, Tony DiMera will return to Salem and share a toast with his brothers. EJ and Chad DiMera will be on hand to give Tony a warm welcome home through some family time at the bistro. We should also mention some other days' comings and goings news since Rita Leslie, Thomas DiMera, and Nurse Leslie all have appearances on the way. Days of Our Lives spoilers say multiple storylines are about to heat up, so stay tuned. Alice and Tom Horton may be gone on Days of Our Lives, but they'll never be forgotten. And that's not just because the town square is named after them. The Horton family home is just as central to the show and Salem as ever, and Days of Our Lives just showed that again with a special episode dedicated to Bo and Hope, and Hope's grandparents. On the Wednesday, June 18th episode, Bo and Hope reminisced over their past and looked forward to their future, both the immediate one, sailing around the world once again, and the promise to someday retire to the Horton family home, just as Doug and Julie did. And throughout it, Days of Our Lives treated us to a series of flashbacks to a young Tom and Alice Horton, as they, too, grew into their house and their family expanded and grew out of it. The show brought in Sidney K. Smith and Zach Chaez to once again play younger versions of Alice and Tom, after giving us a glimpse of their earliest years together back when the Horton house burned down last year. As longtime viewers know, Alice and Tom were played for decades by Frances Reed and MacDonald Carey, respectively. Back when Days of Our Lives first began, the Horton family was the central family of the show. Alice and Tom Horton were just about the only stable couple in Salem, and their love endured right up until their deaths. Carrie's in 1994, and Reed's in 2010. Their increasingly sprawling family, on the other hand, has always been a mess. But that's part of what makes the show so much fun to watch. As other families like the Bradys, the DeMeras, and the Kiriakises have moved in, the Hortons haven't quite been as front and center as they used to be, but their presence is still felt. And not just because Salim's Horton Town Square was named in their honor. In fact, all the other major families have their share of Hortons in them, meaning Salem's beloved first couple and all their descendants will live on as long as the show does. We're reminded of that every Christmas when the Hortons hold their annual tree decorating party. It was a tradition started decades back by Alice, and the ornaments they hang on their tree began with those of her and her beloved husband, Tom. Wednesday's episode even gave us a glimpse of the first Christmas Julie's name joined the Horton family ornaments. So while we're a bit upset that Bo and Hope are here and gone so quickly, the latest look at the couple and Alice and Tom's early years made clear that their legacy will live on forever. And someday, perhaps, we'll see Bo and Hope take their place in the home as the head of the Horton family. On Days of Our Lives today, June 18th, 2025, Bo and Hope reflect on their past and future while paying homage to the legacy of Tom and Alice Horton. Upstairs at the Horton house, Hope brought Bo breakfast in bed. She joked about him needing sustenance following their night together. After more light banter, the topic turned to Julie. Hope filled Bo in on Julie's efforts to restore the house after it had caught fire. Bo lamented that he hadn't been there to support Hope, but Hope assured him that he had always been with her. Bo made the same assurance when Hope brought up Doug. Hope chided Bo about becoming a full-time grandpa, and he affirmed that he had never been more ready for any job in his life. The couple shared a loving kiss. Later, Bo and Hope went downstairs. Bo marveled at how the house seemed exactly the same. Hope said there had been a few things that couldn't be replaced, such as a scrapbook she had gifted her grandparents when she was a little girl, and her wedding letter to Bo. She recalled reading the letter to Bo. "I will love you from the bottom of my heart and the depths of my soul forever." When Bo mentioned a puzzle box Tom and Hope had solved together, Hope updated him on the time capsule. Bo was unsurprised to learn that Sierra had cracked open the capsule. Bo could almost feel Tom and Alice watching over them, proud of the Horton legacy. As Bo and Hope settled on the couch, Bo admitted he still had trouble believing he, the bad seed son of an Irish Catholic fishmonger, had become a member of the WASP Horton family via a debutante granddaughter. Hope corrected that Bo had been a rebel, and she considered herself lucky to be part of the Brady family. Bo remembered how he'd truly felt like part of the family when he'd received his Horton Christmas ornament. He was relieved when Hope revealed all the ornaments had survived the fire. Hope reminisced about when Sean Douglas had gotten his ornament and when she'd told her Gran about being pregnant. While Hope had been worried, Alice had been nothing but supportive. Bo joked that the Horton Christmas tree would have to grow more branches to fit all the new additions to the family. Hope walked over to the mantel and gazed at the pictures of Tom and Alice and Doug and Julie. She credited Alice with helping her get over her jealousy of Julie after Julie had begun seeing Doug. Bo saw a lot of Alice in Hope, both in her courage and feistiness, and in her sense of humor and love of family. Hope wondered if she would be helping her own grandchildren get out of tight spots, like Alice had often done for her and Bo. She cited 2 times when Alice had assisted a separated Bo and Hope as proof. Neither Bo nor Hope could imagine what their lives would have been like without Tom and Alice. Hope noted that no one else was home. Bo hinted he'd ensured they would be alone for his surprise for Hope. When Bo suggested Hope go back upstairs and check the bedroom closet, Hope was intrigued and complied, while Bo grinned in anticipation. Later, Bo waited at the bottom of the stairs, dressed in an old-fashioned suit with a red vest. He looked on in awe as Hope descended the staircase, wearing a vintage wedding gown. Bo took Hope's hand and led her back into the living room, which had been decorated for the occasion. Bo wanted to mark his reunion with Hope in a special way. The one positive about the circumstances of his being away had been that he hadn't felt the pain of missing Hope. She acknowledged that missing him had been one of the hardest times of her life, and she never wanted to experience it again. Beau agreed and affirmed that the Horton house was the perfect location for their next step. He got down on one knee and asked Hope to become his wife again. After letting Beau hang for a moment, Hope exclaimed, "1,000,001 times yes, Brady!" She brought Beau up to her and sealed her answer with a kiss. A few moments later, a solemn Beau stood before Hope and remembered when Hope and he had exchanged vows in a very big church and in more private accommodations. Each time, it had felt like it had just been them and their love. Beau continued, "I want to spend the rest of my life loving you, taking care of you, making you laugh when you're feeling down. I want to share my secrets, my hopes, my dreams with you, and I promise to respect and cherish you. I give you my heart without holding back. I take you, Hope, to be my wife, now and forever." Then, as flashback Hope recited her vows to a younger Beau, present-day Hope pledged, "I am so proud to stand beside you. I love you, Beau Brady. I love you. Today, tomorrow, always." Flashback. Hope slipped a ring on Beau's finger. "This ring is like my love for you. It's a perfect circle, never ending." Meanwhile, present-day Beau presented Hope with a ring that Sean had retrieved from her bedroom. It was her mother Addie's ring. An exuberant Hope and Beau pronounced themselves married and kissed. A flashback commenced featuring another time Beau and Hope had informally renewed their wedding vows. They called each other their first and last loves. Beau then gave Hope a wedding present. He explained that he had gotten the keys to the Fancy Face houseboat back from Sean. Beau wanted Hope and he to embark on their next adventure together by once again sailing around the world. While hesitant at first, Hope eventually warmed to the idea. Hope couldn't refute her and Beau's shared adventurous spirit. They could punctuate their sightseeing with trips to visit all of their family who lived overseas. Hope had one caveat, though. Beau and she had to visit Salem as much as possible. Beau readily agreed, as he considered the town his and Hope's true north. He sweetened the deal by suggesting that when they retired, they would settle right there in the Horton home, just like Doug and Julie had done. Hope shared Beau's sentiment that tomorrow is never promised. She looked forward to embarking on the next adventure with the man she loved most in the world. Later, Beau and Hope visited Tom and Alice's plaque in Horton Town Square. Hope hated goodbyes, but Beau firmly believed every goodbye made the hellos all the more meaningful. A montage of Beau and Hope's tumultuous journey played. The images reflected the couple's triumphs and tragedies, and how their love always brought them back together. Afterward, Beau mused, "We have certainly been on some amazing journeys." Hope added, "And so many more to come." With that, Beau and Hope bid Salem adieu. Until next time. Long ago in the Horton house, a young Alice complained to young Tom about their washing machine overflowing. Tom lifted his wife's spirits by revealing that their daughter Addie was about to make them grandparents. A year later, Alice and a Santa hat-clad Tom returned from the hospital. Tom had read the Christmas story to the children for the first time, and Alice suggested he make it a tradition. The couple strolled over to another holiday tradition they had recently begun, the Horton tree. The first ornaments hung on the tree featuring Tom, Alice, their kids, and the newest addition, granddaughter Julie. Tom was certain Julie would be headstrong and feisty, just like Alice. She agreed their grandchild likely wouldn't avoid the family trait. Sometime later, Alice yelped when she stepped on one of her grandson Stephen's toys. Tom noted that Stephen, along with the rest of the family, had gone to see a holiday movie at the theater. With a sly smile, he suggested that Alice and he make the most of their time alone. "After 25 years, we still got it," Alice replied, moving in closer to Tom. He responded, "Speaking for myself, I've got it bad." Later, Alice came from the kitchen and confessed that she missed the chaos and laughter that her family brought. She wondered if Tom and she should look for a smaller house since their children were all grown. Tom lightly reminded her that the family still convened every Sunday for dinner. He believed they should pledge that the house would be forever the Horton home. "For all the generations after us," Alice declared. Settling into Tom's embrace, Days of Our Lives, spoilers for the week of June 23rd to 27, reveal that some baby drama will worsen while Sammy Brady's return looms. Brady Black will also land in a tight spot. So let's talk about what's coming up on DOOL. For starters, Marlena Evans will have good reasons to fret over Rachel Black after she mutters in her sleep about the night of the shooting. It should lead to Marlena questioning Brady, so she may back him into a corner and push for the truth. Brady might admit he was already in the loop on Rachel's terrible memories, since she recalls Johnny DiMera being armed and ready against EJ DiMera. Once Marlena gets updates, she may confront Johnny next and get his assurance that he didn't actually fire at EJ. Of course, we should also talk about Sophia Choi's baby drama, which is about to get even worse. After going into labor at her graduation ceremony, Sophia will head to the hospital with Tate Black and prepare for her baby's birth. This delivery could come with some traumatic moments for Sophia, but Tate will do whatever he can to provide support along the way. Day's spoilers say Sophia's baby will ultimately be born, but is Tate really the father? Day's writers have been offering up some clues to suggest that a newly returned Aaron Green might be the baby daddy instead. If Aaron is indeed the father of Sophia's child, he may view it as a sign that they should be a couple and raise this kid together. Aaron has already been hinting about thinking he could have been endgame with Sophia, so this could be his chance. As for Tate, he'll be stunned and outraged if Sophia's kept quiet about another father candidate all this time. That's especially true since Aaron is Tate's best friend. Tate may have some harsh words for Aaron too for not putting it all together until now. This is a huge mess that's only going to get messier, so stay tuned for news on any paternity madness that might play out. Next, Doug Williams III may deal with more concerns when it comes to Holly Jonas and Ariana Ari Horton. Since Ari and Holly have landed on the loan shark's radar, that could lead to possible kidnapping danger for them both. We should also mention Sammy's looming comeback, since Allison Sweeney confirmed Sammy would still come home to support Marlena over John Black's demise. It's just happening a little later than planned due to the injuries Sydney DiMera sustained at the airport. At some point in the next week or two, Sammy will come back to Salem and give Marlena the comfort she needs. That could also lead to Sammy having an unexpected encounter with Kat Green, who recognized Sammy's pic during a recent townhouse visit. Kat isn't sure where she knows Sammy from, but things could click into place when they inevitably bump into each other down the line. There has to be a past connection here that Days plans to explore. In the meantime, Kat will grow closer to Chad DiMera, so it'll be interesting to see how long it takes them to move out of the friend zone. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Paul Narita and Andrew Donovan's wedding is coming up before long as well, so don't miss what's ahead. Well, Bope fans finally got the happy ending they've been waiting for on Wednesday's Days of Our Lives when the two remarried in an unofficial ceremony and Set sailed off into the sunset, quite literally. The two are taking a page from their past, having reclaimed the fancy face from Sean and leaving to sail around the world. The plan is to visit family and reconnect with each other far, far away from the drama of Salem. And after the disappointment of Beau's resurrection that led to him in a coma and Hope agonizing by his side for years, this time, it feels like the show got it right with the fans. "I loved an entire episode dedicated to Beau and Hope," Shannon Gabriel declared in the recap comments. Their love story was so truly iconic, like John and Marlena, like Luke and Laura, and others, of course. The flashbacks were so great, and to have them sailing on Fancy Face again, I love it. "I loved watching this episode," Alice C. noted. "Been waiting for Beau and Hope." "The Beau-Hope flashbacks were great," Tango agreed. "And when you look at how stunningly beautiful they both were, and the screen chemistry they had, it's clear why that couple has had such staying power. Saying goodbye to Bope is a little easier now that this cherished super couple finally got their HEA. But perhaps the most interesting part about their exit was Hope agreeing to leave only after making Beau promise that they'll always return to Salem. Beau happily agreed and added that he'd like to retire to the Horton home, just as Doug and Julie did. That would set them up as the next generation's heads of the family. But it would be a big ask to bring Beau and Hope back full-time to make it happen. With that said, they've got time to work it out. Julie's not going anywhere, and there's no rush to cut Beau and Hope's world trip short. Heck, they just left for it. And if they do follow in Tom and Alice and Doug and Julie's footsteps, this would mean coming home, settled and married. No more breakups, no more divorces. A true happily ever after. But now that they've promised us this, all we can say is the show needs to follow through. Someday, sometime, Bo and Hope need to come home, move into the Horton house, and continue their family legacy for the coming generations. Days of Our Lives fans were reeling recently when actor Patrick Muldoon, who originated the Austin Reed character, popped on the soap's Instagram handle in a video that seemed to hint he was returning to storylines. Still, there is far more to this story than meets the eye. As it turns out, Muldoon had returned to the soap, but only to the studio to give a tour to a friend. According to Soap Opera Digest, the soap clarified that the actor would not be making an on-screen comeback. Apparently, the IG video was some tongue-in-cheek humor. In the video, Muldoon can be seen walking through a brown door that has the words Studio 4 on it. As he mutters Studio 4 in the clip, he checks the sign, snaps his fingers, and then says, "It's gotta be... is it Studio 2? Muldoon proceeds to look at the camera and states, "I just got off the 101 South in Burbank and Studio 2 and 4. Muldoon seemingly has a light bulb moment when he exclaims, "Oh my God, I'm in Salem!" The video ends with the actor smiling as he walks off saying, "Oh, it's good to be back." The caption on the IG post read, "Who is that wandering around Salem? And why? Hashtag DOOL, Hashtag Days of Our Lives." Muldoon debuted as Austin in 1992 and would leave the show in 95. He also returned for a short stint from 2011 to 2012. The show recast the character, and Austin Peck entered the part in 95, playing Austin Reed until 2006, and again in 2017 to 2021 again. Unfortunately, it's been over a decade since Muldoon played Austin Reed, the son of Kate Roberts Brady, and about 4 years since the character has been in Salem. In fact, Carrie Brady recently returned to be by John Black's side during his final days in the little town, and for his memorial. Austin stayed back due to their son, Noah Reed's graduation. Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Thursday, June 19th, indicate some interesting moments in the land of Salem. Someone is sticking to an odd story, while another is straightforward with a loved one, and a character offers comfort to a grieving loved one. What's set to unravel on Thursday's show? Time to find out. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, June 19th. Hint that Philip Kyriakis will stick to his story about his attack. The good news is that Philip finally woke up from his coma after his brutal beatdown at the hands of his brother, Xander Kyriakis. However, the bad news is, he's telling everyone Xander didn't do it. Is Philip covering up for Xander, or does he genuinely not remember? Speaking of Xant, he'll make his intentions clear to Sarah Kyriakis. Is this about Victoria Kyriakis and possible custody? The two have been fighting relentlessly over their daughter since the truth came out about Sarah's knowledge of Philip's forged letter. Across town, EJ DiMera will be a straight shooter when he has a no-nonsense talk with Johnny DiMera. Will he tell his son about Rachel Black's recollection of the night he was shot and his son's role in it all? Meanwhile, Chanel DiMera will lean on her mom, Paulina Price. With Sophia Choi's due date looming and no adoptive parents in sight, will Chanel hope there's a small chance she and Johnny could still adopt the child? Lastly, Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Thursday suggest that Belle Black will comfort Marlena Evans. Marlena has an uphill battle in front of her as she learns to navigate through life without her love and best friend, John Black. Grief has no set timeline, so Marlena's lucky to have her children and loved ones by her side. Days of Our Lives, spoilers for the week of June 23, 2025, suggest lots of twists and turns. Fans can expect Brady Black to face an impossible situation. Meanwhile, Sophia Choi and Tate Black's baby drama will continue. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. While sleeping on the couch at Marlena Evans' penthouse, Rachel Black starts talking in her sleep. The psychiatrist immediately puts down her book over what the little girl is saying in her sleep. Rachel talks about a gun, which of course will send alarm bells through Marlena's body. Brady and Kristen DiMera already know why Rachel is having these dreams. Marlena will mention it to Brady, who will scramble to come up with a cover story. I could see him claiming that Rachel has been watching scary movies or something like that. Marlena probably won't be convinced, but she is a tad fixated on her grief over John Black. The other possibility is that Brady opens up to Marlena about Johnny DiMera. If Marlena finds out that Johnny was the one pointing the gun at EJ DiMera, she could confront her grandson herself. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for the week of June 23rd reveal that Sophia and Tate will continue to have baby drama. During their high school graduation, Sophia goes into labor. As the teens rush to the hospital, there could be some more surprises. I find Aaron Green's previous exit and sudden return interesting. It's the timing of it all, and he still could be Sophia's baby daddy. Next week, fans will also see more complications in Doug Williams III's love life. Doug and Holly Jonas are friends, but there's also some romantic chemistry brewing. Then, Doug slept with Ari Horton, not realizing that she was actually friends with Holly. Even messier than that, Ari is also related to Holly's ex-boyfriend, Tate. Doug keeps trying to slip away whenever the girls are together. However, Doug is going to get busted at some point. There are also the loan sharks that are targeting Doug, Ari, and Holly. Even though Leo Stark agreed to give Doug $1,000, it might not be enough. If Doug can't come up with enough cash, then something terrible could happen to Ari and Holly. It is also teased that in the next few weeks, Sammy Brady could make a return. Sammy couldn't make it to John's funeral, but she will want to pay her respects at some point, so stay tuned. In a week filled with emotional revelations and heartfelt goodbyes, Days of Our Lives once again proves why it remains a beloved staple of daytime television. From a surprising paternity twist that reshapes young Tate Black's future to the nostalgic farewell of Beau and Hope Brady, the show delivers moments of heartbreak, hope, and enduring love. Here's a look back at the week's most compelling storylines. The week began with a tense and emotional moment as Sophia Choi went into labor during her high school graduation ceremony. 9 months pregnant and trying to maintain a brave face, Sophia's world took a dramatic turn when she doubled over in pain on stage. Rushed to the hospital by her loyal friend, Tate Black, the day meant for celebration quickly became a race against time. Tate stood by Sophia through every agonizing moment of labor. Despite being just a teenager himself, he displayed unwavering support, encouraging her through complications and fear. When the baby was finally born, healthy and beautiful, it seemed like the beginning of a challenging new chapter for the pair. For months, everyone, including Tate, believed he was the father. He had been present throughout Sophia's pregnancy, from prenatal appointments to late-night worries. Their relationship had once flirted with romance, adding complexity to their deep friendship. However, whispers of another possibility loomed, and they became undeniable when Aaron Green, Tate's best friend, returned to Salem. Aaron and Sophia had shared a brief relationship before he left town, and it soon emerged that he might be the real father. The truth was confirmed when a paternity test revealed that Aaron, not Tate, was the biological parent. This revelation devastated Tate, who felt betrayed not only by Sophia, but also by Aaron. "You knew there was a chance and didn't tell me?" he asked in a hospital hallway confrontation, his voice filled with pain. Aaron, equally shocked, tried to explain, but the damage was done. However, as the initial sting wore off, a surprising wave of relief washed over Tate. He had been willing to take on the responsibilities of fatherhood, but the news lifted that weight from his young shoulders. Most importantly, it reopened a door he had long thought closed, the chance to reunite with Holly Jonas, his first love. With the truth out, Tate wasted no time. He found Holly at the Brady pub and gently delivered the news. The baby was Aaron's. Holly, stunned but smiling, asked softly, "So you're free?" It was a quiet but powerful moment that sparked hope between the two. Tate admitted he had never stopped thinking about her, and Holly, moved by his honesty, returned the sentiment. Their reunion offered a much-needed breath of fresh air and a sense of promise, proof that even in the midst of heartbreak, love can still blossom. As younger characters navigated the turbulence of young adulthood, longtime fans were treated to a deeply touching tribute to one of Days of Our Lives' most iconic couples, Beau and Hope Brady. Wednesday's episode was a love letter to their legendary romance. Set to the unforgettable tune "Tonight I Celebrate My Love," the show transported viewers through time with heartfelt flashbacks and emotional dialogue. From revisiting the Horton legacy to reflecting on their journey, it was a masterclass in soap opera storytelling. After Beau awoke from a 2-year coma and returned to the Horton house, miraculously preserved after a devastating fire, the couple stood amidst generations of memories. The Christmas ornaments were still there. The warmth of the home remained. And so did their love. In a quiet moment in the Horton living room, Beau asked Hope to renew their vows. No grand stage, no audience, just the two of them, their history and their hearts. It was a stark contrast to their grand 1985 wedding, but no less meaningful. Holding Addie's cherished ring, they exchanged promises once more. Despite all the years, the trials, and time apart, Hope said through tears, "My heart has never belonged to anyone else." With their vows renewed and the fancy face restored, the couple prepared to leave Salem behind. The boat that had always symbolized their love was once again their vessel for new adventures. It wasn't a goodbye. It was a continuation of a love story that has captivated audiences for 4 decades. Back in the present-day chaos, Sophia must now face the reality of co-parenting with Aaron while mending her fractured friendship with Tate. Aaron, thrust into fatherhood, is determined to prove he's ready. Tate, though hurt, begins to find peace and hope, with Holly by his side. The writers have skillfully blended old and new, honoring history while steering the next generation toward uncertain yet promising futures. As Salem absorbs the latest emotional upheaval, one thing remains clear. Love, whether new or enduring, is always at the heart of Days of Our Lives. Whether you're watching for the young drama or the timeless romance, this week reminded us that in Salem, even the most painful truths can lead to beautiful new beginnings. For fans young and old, this week was a reminder of why Days of Our Lives continues to resonate. Through heartbreak, healing, and hope, the show invites us to believe in second chances, lasting love, and the enduring power of family. In the ever-shifting landscape of Salem, emotions run high and secrets never stay buried for long. The latest storyline from Days of Our Lives has captured viewers' hearts and stirred passionate discussion across social media. At the center of the storm is Tate Black, played by Leo Howard, whose journey through heartbreak, jealousy, and unexpected fatherhood has become one of the season's most compelling arcs. What started as a promising young romance between Tate Black and Holly Jonas has unraveled into a painful saga of mistrust and betrayal. Once inseparable, the couple now finds themselves on opposite sides of a widening emotional chasm. The root of their troubles? Jealousy. Actor Leo Howard revealed that it all spiraled from one critical moment when Tate let his insecurities get the better of him. Consumed by jealousy toward Holly's new friend Doug, Tate falsely accused Doug of stealing Julie's treasured necklace, an accusation that shattered Holly's trust. The fallout was immediate and devastating, leaving Tate alone and their relationship in ruins. In the aftermath of the breakup, a vulnerable Tate found comfort in the arms of Sophia Choi, a new arrival in Salem. But what began as a fleeting connection quickly escalated into a storyline bombshell. Sophia is pregnant. Her pregnancy has ignited a firestorm of speculation. Is Tate the father? Or could the mysterious Aaron, who recently returned to Salem, be the one responsible? Howard has remained vague about the baby's paternity, but emphasized that Tate is committed to stepping up, regardless of the uncertainty. Tate is trying to do the right thing, Howard said, highlighting the character's evolution into a young man trying to take responsibility amid chaos. Despite his new role as a potential father, Tate's heart still belongs to Holly. Howard's portrayal of Tate reveals a young man caught between obligation and unresolved love. He really wants it to work, Howard admitted, reflecting on Tate's hope for reconciliation with Holly. Their love story continues to resonate deeply with fans, many of whom are rooting for the couple's reunion. On social media, hashtags like #Tate and Holly Forever have trended, reflecting the emotional investment viewers have in their future. Just as Tate struggles to navigate his personal entanglements, A devastating loss strikes. The death of his grandfather John, a beloved figure in Salem, adds another layer of sorrow. John's passing leaves Tate reeling, amplifying the emotional weight he already carries. According to Howard, the loss becomes a turning point, forcing Tate to confront grief on top of everything else. Scenes of Tate mourning at his grandfather's memorial have been among the season's most moving moments, praised for their emotional authenticity and depth. What makes this storyline so powerful is its relatability. Through Tate, Days of Our Lives captures the confusion and heartache of growing up, making mistakes, losing trust, and trying to find a way forward. Howard himself noted how real the storyline feels. You make mistakes, you hurt people you love, and you have to learn from it. This grounded portrayal has struck a chord with audiences of all ages, especially middle-aged viewers who appreciate the show's blend of heightened drama and emotional truth. As Sophia's due date approaches, the question of her baby's paternity remains unresolved. A recent viewer poll on X showed a near-even split. 52% believe Tate is the father, while 48% suspect Aaron or someone else. Aaron's unexpected return, coupled with his mysterious demeanor, only deepens the intrigue. Is he the real father, or just a distraction from the truth? The uncertainty has fueled speculation and kept fans glued to their screens, eagerly awaiting the next twist. For all his flaws, Tate Black is portrayed as a deeply human character, imperfect, impulsive, but ultimately trying to do what's right. That's what makes him human, Howard said. He's not perfect, but he's trying. His path forward remains unclear. Will he reunite with Holly? Will he be a father to Sophia's baby? And what role will Aaron play in the unfolding drama?